How to have a strong presence. So I was going over this. I did a speech on this the other day, talking about how to have a strong presence and why should you even try to have a strong presence, right? What is the benefit of having a strong presence? The benefit of having a strong presence is that people respect you, people notice you, people treat you better. They'll do pretty much anything you like. If you have a stronger presence, then you command respect. When you don't have a strong presence, you demand disrespect. Because you're disrespecting yourself, right? It's indicative. How you carry yourself is indicative of how you feel about yourself. So if you carry yourself like this, you're looking down at the ground, you're walking around, you're looking at your smartphone, your chest is sunken in, you're trying to make yourself small, you're yielding to other people in the hallway. All these things affect how you're treated. Now, we already know this because body language is number one, right? We can watch TV on mute and we can understand what's going on in a scene just based off of body language. Most of what human communication is not even spoken. It's mostly body language. So there's a couple ways to have a stronger presence. Of course, the best way to have a stronger presence is to be stronger, right? Everybody knows that if you are stronger, you act stronger, right? It's just how you are. It's a commanding presence. Your literal being, your body that you're encompassing is stronger, is bigger, and therefore it has a stronger presence wherever you go. But barring that, even if you are not into weight training, and obviously that's not a quick fix, you're not going to gain 20 pounds of muscle overnight, right? So how can you have a stronger presence? How can you begin to fake it until you make it, right? Your posture has a lot to do with this. How you're standing, if you're slumped forward, if your shoulders are forward. Now, ideally, you want to be standing up straight and shoulders back, but not so much shoulders back, but chest out, right? That's saying you're open. That's saying you're not scared, you're not afraid, you're not protecting yourself. You are open to receive the world, you're open to receive criticism, you're open and you're not afraid. I guess I should say. A lot of people walk around afraid, they walk around scared, they walk around uncertain of themselves. When you have a strong presence, you don't do these things. These are not things that are synonymous with strength or confidence. Now, when I say a strong presence, that's what I really mean is confidence. People don't normally carry themselves with confidence, but it's a tough line to go along, because if you carry yourself with too much confidence, right, you come across as arrogant, you come across as cocky, you come across as a dick, mainly. And here's some ways to combat that, right? So I talk about posture. So how you sit, how you stand, how you carry yourself generally is going to affect how you're going to be treated. But with that said, the number one way that people are going to see you is they're going to see you walking. Before you even meet anyone, or if you're going down the street, you're going down a hallway, or simply you're just getting up to shake someone's hand, they're going to see how you walk. And I'll show you an example of a good way to walk versus a bad way to walk versus the way I see a lot of people walk. But obviously I can't show that to you right now. So what else is there? There's how you stand, right? You should stand in a less exaggerated, I guess, Superman pose, right? We all know how Superman stands. We all know he's got his chest out, he's got his shoulders back, he's got his eyes forward, he's got his chin up. All these things are signs of confidence, they're signs of strength, right? He's Superman. Dude can stop bullets and shoot lasers out of his eyes. He's not really scared of anything, so of course he's going to stand like that. Now, to stand around like Superman all the time is kind of ridiculous, but we can take some cues from that, right? like his, like I said, his chest is out, his shoulders are back, and mainly he's spread out, right? His legs are far apart, his elbows are far apart. So you can take a less dramatic form of this stance when you stand. When you're more open, when you're consuming more space, it shows that you're not afraid. This goes for sitting as well, right? When you sit with your legs spread, when you sit with your arms out, big, wide open stance, that's conveying confidence. That's conveying, you're not afraid to be seen. You're not afraid to be present. And that's another thing I want to talk about having a strong presence, is that you actually have to be there. You have to be present. You have to look people in the eyes. You have to be aware of your surroundings. A lot of people are aloof. A lot of people are caught up in their smartphone, and they're not aware. They're not present. How are you going to have a strong presence if you don't even have a presence, right? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't correlate. So you have to be there. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Keep your head on a swivel kind of thing, right? A strong presence, that's someone who commands respect, right? Someone who knows what's going on, someone who sees what's going on around them is a strong person, right? You see people who are in the military, people who are police officers, all these kind of strong role models that we have or these strong examples that we have, they all have these traits in common, right? They're tall, they've got their chest out, and most of all, they're aware. Like, what is a soldier more than anything? He's aware. What is a police officer more than anything? He's aware, because in a split second, a gun could come out or something like that, right? So you've got to be aware of your surroundings. When you're aware of your surroundings, you have a commanding presence. There was a case of a guy who was going around and robbing people on the bus, and I think he robbed about 17 people before anyone noticed, because he was just doing it silently. He had his gun out, tap the person on the shoulder and be like, hey, give me all your money. But no one's paying attention, right? No one's got their head out of their phone. No one's got their earphones out. They're not paying attention. They're not present, so they're taken advantage of. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is when you have a strong presence, you don't look like a victim. I've seen a lot of sketchy characters. You're walking down the street, you see a lot of people who look like bad news, right? But when you carry yourself in this way, they don't want anything to do with you, because you're not looking like a victim. You're not looking like a pushover. You're not looking like someone to be messed with, right? Especially coupled with being actually strong. Now, Amy Cuddy has a great TED Talk on it. I'm sure many of you have seen it. I'm going to link it down in the bottom. She gives a much better description than I do of body language, the psychology behind it, and how it can actually affect your hormones and how you feel. So when you fake smile, it's going to make you feel better. That's what I've always struggled with personally, is I don't smile at people. I don't know. My face is just, ugh. That's my face, right? So, but I've noticed, even in the past couple of days, that smiling at people gives me a much better reaction. It diffuses them, it disarms them. So whatever you've got to work on, that comes easily to me. That comes naturally to me. The standing up straight, the confidence, the looking forward. What's difficult for me is the smiling at people. You might be the opposite. You might smile at everybody you see, but it might be a nervous smile. It might be like, I don't know. So maybe you got to be more forthcoming with that smile. Just put it out there, right? You put it out there, whatever. Maybe they weren't even looking at you, but it's okay. You come across, you put it out there, right? You put it out there confidently. You're not hesitant. So there's your stance, there's how you stand, right? There's how you walk. But if you do all this and you have this strong posture, it's going to be very off-putting. People aren't going to like it. It's going to come across, like I said, as arrogant or just an elevated kind of status, like you think you're better than everyone. That's how it's going to come across, right? So this is how you disarm it. You come back with a smile. When you combine those three things, you got the walk, the stance, and the smile, it's game over, right? Now you're confident, you're inviting, your smile is much better, and people want to talk to you versus, you're very serious, you're brooding, you're thinking, stuff like that. It's not very inviting. So you gotta have the smile, right? You gotta have the smile, the disarmament. Otherwise, people are just not going to approach you, and you're actually gonna diffuse people. This could be good in like those sketchy situations, right? You don't want to be smiling around like an idiot. But in most social situations, say you're at work, say you're just at a club and you want to meet some girls or something like that, it's better to smile. Throw that smile on. It's much more inviting. People are going to return the smile. They're going to feel better. So this is how you have having a stronger presence isn't so much about having a strong presence and overriding and bullying people. It's more about presenting yourself in the best light possible. It's about being as confident as you can be. And this is going to make your life better because you put your best foot forward, you put your best self forward, you're going to attract the best kinds of people. Whereas if you're walking like this, if you've got that shitty posture, people are going to prey upon you, whether that be douchebag guys, whether that be someone who wants to beat your ass, or someone who wants to take all your money. You're going to attract more negative things by portraying yourself in a more negative light. So this goes for guys and girls. Having a stronger presence is going to be beneficial really in all realms of your life, whether it's romantically, whether it's just if you want to make more money, if you want to be heard, if you really anything you want in life, you're going to have to ask for it. You're going to have to bring yourself forward, right? If I'm at a business meeting, or if I'm pitching a product, or if I'm pitching something to someone, right? I'm trying to sell you on my business. I'm trying to sell you on my videos. If I'm not confident of myself, how am I presenting that? I mean, how does that come across? I am the conduit for everything that I want to project. Everything that's coming out of me is going to be, I guess, cast in a certain light. So when you have a stronger presence, it's cast in a better light. Versus when you have a weaker presence, it's cast in a weaker light. Like, it's like this. It's like, I kind of want to, I'd like to go out. If you want to maybe grab a drink sometime, no, ugh, I don't want to grab a drink with you. Ugh, you're fucking gross, right? Like, you're not coming across in the best way. Versus, hey, I'd like to see you. I'd like to go out with you, maybe 8 tonight. What do you think? Something like that. It's the same message, but how it's coming across through your body language is much better. Which one do you think is going to get the date? Which version? Like, it's clear. So, and clearly both of those guys, right? The guy who's looking at the ground or the guy who's standing up and looking forward, both of those guys want the date. They want the same thing, but how it's projected out of their body is going to indicate how people receive it and how they react to it. So how you project yourself is going to dictate how the world reacts to you, how everything comes back to you. And one of those things that Amy Cuddy talks about as well is faking it until you make it. Like I said, you smile, it's going to make you happier. If you stand up straighter and you have your chest out, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to elevate your mood, you're going to elevate your status, and overall you're just going to feel better. So that's how you have a strong presence. Start by getting strong, but in the meantime, you can fake it till you make it, and you'll be much better for it.